Good day, my friend. You have a problem with your dog that kills or attacks your chickens. You want to get rid of that problem? Then look at this video, okay? This is the second part. On my previous video, I've received a lot of questions and I've tried to help as many people as I can, but there's always the same questions popping up. Okay, so it seems that I wasn't very clear, and for this we're gonna redo it again. Okay, so this time I will try to be a bit more detailed and show you exactly what you need to do for this not to happen. So first thing you have to do, obviously you are the master, you are in charge of the dog, you need to train the dog. Okay, so I thought that was obvious, but some people don't understand it. So the dog will not train himself. Okay, so just take the dog on a leash and train the dog around the chickens. If you see he goes for the chicken, he wants to kill them or he wants to attack them, you pull the dog. That's it. It's very, very simple. You see, no problem. But obviously I train my dogs, so obviously I won't have that problem. You can see all the dogs that are here as well. They will never attack the chickens, okay? But for you it might be necessary because they might not use to be around chickens. So you will have to do that. Every time I bring chickens home as well, every time I buy a new one or get new ones from friends, etc., I always present the chickens to the dogs, so like that they know these animals are part of the property. Okay, so that's very important. So first, train your dog. Now that your dog is educated and he knows he shouldn't attack those animals, normally you should be fine. Okay, but sometimes you will go to town, you will go somewhere, and when you come back you see that something has happened. Okay, so that's why I said in the previous video that it doesn't attack to attack. It starts going by next to the chicken, for instance. The chickens get a bit scared, flies off a bit, the dog sees it as a game. He follow it, he wants to see it fly again, and eventually, bam, he has an heart attack, he dies, and he eats it. How do I know that? I've got CCTV around my house, and I've seen it. You know, so that's why I can tell how this has happened. Okay, but as I say, usually he will not attack to attack because you, the owner, have educated the dog. Okay, so that would not happen that way. He would not kill to kill. Okay, so if that happens, never castigate the dog if you don't catch it on the spot. If you realize many hours later what has happened, the dog will not understand why he's been castigated. However, if you catch him on hand, then it's much different. Okay, so what you want to give him some salt. So like that, he will have that bitter taste in his mouth associated with the chicken. Okay, so that's what you want to do, but you don't take any salt. Okay, you take that salt. It's what you call rough salt, big salt. I'm not sure, different countries have different names. I'm not sure if I can show it to you on the video. That type of salt. Okay, sometimes it's used as well, you know, when you want to cook a fish, you cover it with that salt and you put it in the oven. Okay, that very heavy salt. Okay, so you put some in the palm of your hand and you give it to him. Okay, what will happen? The dog, because that salt is a bit thick, so what happens? He will not swallow it, or he will swallow very, very little. And then what he will do, he will throw it up. So now he will associate the dog with that bad taste, and normally that will be the end of it. Okay, so that's the salt you need to have. Okay, and as I say, you don't give him a kilo, you don't give him you know, just a little bit for him to have that bad taste. Okay, now we'll answer a few questions that come all the time. and I hope this will clear things. About fine salt, the salt, table salt that we use all the time, can we give that to our dog? No. Why? Because the fine salt is so fine, in fact, that the dog will swallow it. Okay, so it's actually not very pleasant. Okay, so why you use that rough salt, that big salt, is because the dog can actually throw it back. Okay, so that's the reason. Okay. I had someone as well relating to that. He said, "Oh, you should remove that video online because my dog has died." And I said, "Your dog has died? How can this be?" And after asking a bit more, well, he gave him a lot of very fine table salt, and the dog died. Well, I mean, that was very stupid, I think. But it's a bit like water. Water is very good, but if you drink 30 liters, you will die. It's common sense, but I don't know. That's the way it is. Now, some people ask about other salt. Alors, other salt, I know there's quite a large variety of salt. There may be salt that are similar and that may work. But same thing, they should be quite big, and they should give, the idea is to give a bad taste in the mouth. Okay, so if you don't have for some reason that salt, which is very common in all shops, if you don't have it, and if you got another type of salt, try it yourself, and if you see it's quite bitter, then yeah, why not try it. Okay, but remember that the dog can throw it back later. Okay. Some people have told me as well that with the dog is just a lost case, they can't just do anything. I disagree with that. I believe each dog can be trained. The problem is on the owner. Very often, if the dog don't behave properly, is because of the owner. It's just like children. If the children don't behave correctly, it's the parents' fault. Same thing with the dogs. Una persona también me ha dicho que se comporta tan mal, le voy a pegar un tiro. Pues yo creo que si la idea es de pegar un tiro al perro, no vale la pena tener un animal, en este caso, porque el perro, si lo educa bien, no hay que llegar a este punto. Y el principal es que recibe un tiro porque el dueño no ha podido educar al animal. No me parece muy justo, pero hay de todo en este mundo. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? ¿Vale? Ahora hay personas también que me dicen que ha hecho todo lo posible, el perro sigue. ¿Qué puedo hacer? Pues mi cosa personal, ¿vale? Es no tener animales. O tiene el perro o tiene las gallinas. Pero si no sabe manejar ni uno ni el otro, pues mejor que estar sin animales y ya está, ¿vale? Porque como lo he dicho, si no educa a su perro, siempre va a tener problemas, siempre, ¿vale? En cualquier caso, con otros animales, con otros perros, con lo que sea, siempre. Pues ya está. Espero que ahora tendrá el problema resuelto con las gallinas. Espero que le haya gustado el video y nos veremos en la próxima. Cuídate, chao.